Here at Equivision, we are often asked about horses that tend to have either a lack of focus or tend to be a little bit hyperreactive to things that are happening around them. And asked, do we have a calming and focus product that will help these horses out? Well, the answer to that question is yes, we do. We have a product called Engage. But before discussing Engage, or even before discussing if we want to recommend a calming focus product for your horse, the first thing we have to determine is what's causing this hyperreactivity? What's causing this lack of focus? Is it truly an emotional or mental aspect of the horse? And there are many horses that is the case. Or is the primary cause of that hyperreactivity and lack of focus more physical, such as intestinal inflammation, which needs to be addressed with, for example, our 21-day hindgut health program? But for right now, let's assume that we are dealing with a horse that, for emotional standpoints, psychological standpoints, they're not focusing very well and they tend to be hyperreactive. In that case, we would recommend our Engage product. With our Engage, we've been successful at using very small amounts of nutrients, and that's all the Engage is. It's amino acids, minerals, and vitamins that are going to support the production of certain neurotransmitters in the horse, specifically serotonin and dopamine. Serotonin is a neurotransmitter that will tend to have a calming effect on a horse or a person. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that will have an effect of actually improving focus on either a horse or even a person. Normally, the production or the level of those two neurotransmitters will tend to counteract each other. As serotonin increases to make the horse calm, normally dopamine will be reduced because you're not necessarily focusing, you're wanting to relax. What we've been able to do with Engage is actually stimulate the production of both of these concurrently, so that we not only get a leveling or calming effect, we also get a focus or attention effect as well. We've been able to do that not only with the use of the specific amino acids and nutrients that we include in Engage, but it's really the delivery system that we've been able to develop to get these nutrients across the blood-brain barrier. We can actually stimulate the production of these neurotransmitters. And in fact, this is where we got the name Engage for the product, because when this product or when these nutrients actually become effective and we stimulate that serotonin and dopamine production, you will find that your horse will then actually engage with you. When you first approach your horse after giving Engage, your first reaction might be, well, I don't see where this did anything, until you start working with your horse and you'll notice that they focus on you, and it's almost like they're asking you, okay, what do you want to do with me today? We've had many horses that have been given Engage where, where before they were looking at everything going on around them, and they're still going to be looking at everything around them when you first throw a leg over them. But when you get a hold of them and you ask them, okay, this is what I want you to do, they will immediately focus and engage with you and engage with whatever job it is that you're asking them to do. Horses that tend to be hyperreactive, we've had more than one customer make the comment that the Engage takes their stage fright away. And I think has been a very good phrase to describe what type of effect that you get with these horses. Now, with Engage, it varies from horse to horse, obviously, just like various medications will have varying effects on people. On the average, it's going to take about an hour and a half for Engage to have an effect on the horse, and that effect will last for approximately 4 hours. If we're still needing, some calming and focus assistance after the end of 4 hours, you can very easily give a little bit of a booster. It comes in either paste or powdered form. So obviously the easiest way to give a little bit of a booster would be with the paste form. One thing though that I personally like about Engage, and we've seen this on many, many horses, is that horses learn while they're on this. So we find that horses that used to, spook at things blowing in the wind, or the old plastic bag, which, so many horses tend to be spooky about. If you give them Engage and you teach them and you engage with them that, this is really not something that you need to be scared of, they'll learn. And after a while, you'll find that you no longer need the Engage, that you can just take the horse on and he will have settled down and continue to focus on what you want him to do.